Okay, so yeah, admittedly, this is gonna seem a bit corny, and I know some of y'all are gonna make fun of me for even considering doing this, but we need to talk. Don't worry, it's nothing you did, but rather what's been happening with me. And before you ask, no, don't worry, the channel is not gonna shut down or die. We're still trying to reach 100k, and for the few who are still here, and have been following me since like the beginning, I really appreciate y'all a lot, and I know I say that quite a bit, but like, I really mean it. Especially with like all the negativity and honestly really tough thoughts I've been going through lately. But anyways, let's talk more about that. So honestly, I don't really have a great transition for this, but you might have noticed that this channel and my content's been a little different as of recently, where I've been uploading mostly shorts about Bluey and even some other stuff now. The last real video I've done was my giant iceberg, and I'll be honest, I just haven't really found the motivation to make another big or even full video, which is why I've been uploading shorts. And overall, that's mainly because, and I've kinda talked about this before, but my videos get way less views than they used to. Like my iceberg only got 25,000 as of writing this, which in comparison to my past parts that got hundreds of thousands or even over a million, I'm gonna be honest, the results were pretty disappointing. And I know a lot of you are gonna argue that it's not too bad and I'm just being too greedy, and you know what, fair enough, maybe I am being too selfish, but I hope you can understand my side and consider that a lot of my videos, especially my giant ones, take literally weeks or even months to make from start to finish. I began working on the script for that iceberg vid in like April or May, and it came out in like late September. That's about 3 to 4 months, or in other terms, a quarter to a third of a whole year. Now admittedly, I didn't spend all those months working on it as I had other projects going on at the same time, but to spend that much time on anything, you kinda have to have some kind of major return to at least make it worthwhile. Because even if I didn't spend anything, the time alone costed me a lot, as I could have used all that time for much more important stuff or other things going on in my life. Now of course, against my better judgment, I didn't do that, as admittedly, I've kind of sunken myself way too deep into this whole YouTube thing. And to do all of that, combined with organizing all the cameos and all the sleepless nights editing, in the end I would still say it was worth it, because it was beautiful to have so much of the fandom united. But for future projects though, the dwindling return has definitely demoralized me quite a bit. And honestly, looking at how it or other big videos did compared to my old ones, it's honestly way more stressful than it probably should be. And as stupid as it sounds, it's actually taken quite a toll on my mental health. So with that, I obviously haven't quit making content, but that's why I've been focusing on shorter videos, as they're way easier to make, take a lot less time, and are therefore a much lower risk if one flops. And on top of that, another reason why it's so stressful is because at this point, I more or less built my whole channel on talking about Bluey, as it is what got me the most views a while ago, but things are different now. The show's on hiatus and likely will be for a while, and with nothing to talk about, the fandom's kinda dead. Like, there are still of course fans out there, but I've noticed a lot of people have moved on, including lots of friends I used to know, and the low views my recent content has been getting. And I hate to say it, but I feel like people just aren't as interested in this show anymore like they used to be. And if anything, most people are now more obsessed with hating on it or making fun of its fans than actually liking it, which has definitely not made my job, big bold quotation marks, any better. And overall, past the views and demand, I've also just been kinda wanting to move on to other stuff, because as crazy as it sounds, I don't want people to know me as just the Bluey guy, or the grown man child obsessed with a kid's show, as some of you would put it. However, because it's the only thing I talk about here, that's naturally what people assume. Most people aren't even aware that I have so many other hobbies, interests, and things I do outside YouTube. But because of how I cultivated my channel or my audience, I kind of feel like I'm stuck in this box, where I can only talk about one subject. And at the same time I'm stuck here, I'm also being pulled by two completely different sides. One of which is people who are still obsessed with the show and still want me to talk about it, and the rest of the internet, which is at this point, basically clowning on me non-stop for dedicating my life to, basically a show that airs on Disney Junior. And yeah, I know it's Australian and it's on the ABC there, but I think you get the point. I want people to know that I'm better than this. and I can do more. And shoot, even without all the negative attention, I still want to do more. I would love to talk about my other interests or things I'm passionate about, but because of what I made this channel into, I'm worried I'm gonna lose subscribers, or in other words, lose some of you, which I don't want to happen at all. So because of that, I've been trying to find a new balance of making new content, but still talking about Bluey for the most part, even if it doesn't quite interest me like it used to. However, with all that put aside, whether it's because of all the negative attention or just me being me, I've also become a lot more self-conscious about the way others see me, because while a lot of the comments I get are obviously just trolling, and something I can honestly deal with, some of them do point out stuff that I've never really considered weird until I really thought about it. Like one honestly kind of funny comment I got pointed out that I'm basically a Bluey Sona with a twink voice. That's literally what I'm sure they said or something like that. And you know what? I've never seriously considered it, but yeah, that's how people see me. And I can't even blame them. I don't show my face for privacy reasons, and I don't own like a $3,000 fursuit, a nice setup, or something fancy like that. But because of this, the only representation of me right now is a character that still looks like a Bluey OC and my voice. Which honestly, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but is something I've actually been kind of insecure about for a while. I don't know if my puberty or growth was stunted or what happened. I'm not an expert on that, but for a while at this point and hearing how others sound, I realized I do kinda have an unusual high-pitched voice, especially compared to other guys my age, and that combined with the fact that I sometimes have issues speaking, voice cracks, or finding the right words in general, to me it sometimes makes my videos sound like a complete mess. And at this point, I almost want to just replace myself with an AI voice or someone else, because I feel like anyone, or hell, anything can do better than what I could. I've had years to practice this, and I feel like I've barely improved at all. And in retrospect, I've been questioning a lot about how I've even made it this far in the first place. Because not only am I seeing views in general go down, but also at the same time, seeing lots of people I know just get tons of views and followers like it's nothing, when I've been struggling here the whole time. All because they had a cooler character, more exaggerated thumbnails, more relevant brain rot, or just appease the algorithm more in the same way everyone else does. And while I have tried to be more like that, I also want to make content I feel is quality or worthwhile, or at least truthful to my audience. I don't want to have to lie to y'all to get views or just parrot whatever funny brain rot or sound is trending. But with how well everyone else is doing it, and how much I need to keep this channel afloat, I really feel like I'm in a tough spot where I kind of feel the need to do a bunch of stuff I don't really want to, which is perhaps why some of my recent content feels a bit forced or perhaps less genuine, which if that's the case is something I deeply apologize for. And in general, I just feel like speaking from the heart like before is just not really cutting it anymore. In some way, I just feel like I'm almost not good enough. Because compared to others, not only is my voice whack and sounds out of tune, but I really don't have any cool flashy gimmicks for y'all, I'm not really that funny, I don't have a budget for my videos, and my editing skills are very, very primitive. If anything, the only reason I'm here is because I just really got lucky. I just happened to make videos about Bluey right as it began to pop off, and that perfect timing kinda spoiled me into thinking I was really good at this. At least until now, where I've been, to say the least, insanely humbled. Not only by the negative comments or all the jokes making fun of me, but also just me getting older and realizing what I've been doing. I started this channel when I was around 16, back when I was super edgy, had a really bad temper, and thought I could be funny by shocking people with disturbing or awful content. Not fully realizing that what I was doing or posting was horrible, joke or not. And because the internet never forgets, I still live with that past very much in the back of my head. And it's something I still hold deep regret over to this day, which is something I cannot state enough. However, I mention all this because it made me question if I even deserve this at all. And once again, I really do think I got lucky. But now things are different, and times have changed. I want to move on to other, much bigger things that are gonna happen in my life, and of course I'm obviously not getting any younger, so I can't help but feel my time is running out. But in spite of all that, I still really want to reach 100k, because it was my ultimate goal from the beginning. And honestly, I just want something to show for all the work I did. I would be so happy if I could just have that plaque, hang it up on my wall, and feel like I actually accomplished something for once. a physical representation of all my digital work. But until all that, I'm just gonna keep uploading, at least in some form hopefully. And yeah, I just wanted to talk and get a bunch of personal stuff off my chest, because all of this has been eating me up quite a bit lately. And for those who have listened for this long or stayed till the end, I just want to say thank you. It really means a lot to me, and I can't say enough how supportive I should say, all of you have been. It's been a big help, and yeah, y'all are like amazing for that, so thank you for your time. And yeah, I'll get back to work editing some other shorts and other things, so I'll let you have a good day, and goodbye, y'all.